we start at 7 Eastern. Join us live on twitch.tv/RPGrinders, or you can join us on YouTube. Majority of chatters are on the Twitch stream, so preferably you folks will head there. We usually have a lively chat room. Show's RP Grinders. I'm Frank. Eric's with me right now. We're just waiting on Breakman, and we'll get the show started properly. How you feeling, Eric? How was your week?
Of course, I take a day off, and my stomach just starts to bother me.
Oh, that's not good, man. You starting to get another flu cold thing?
No, it's just this happens once in a while. I probably ate something bad.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, man. I mean, all of us are going to get this virus at some point or another. I think all of us will be safe. I don't know about our parents, man. I'm more worried about our parents than anything.
So is this Gremlins Unleashed movie, is this like a Netflix original, or is it like going in theaters?
Gremlins?
Yeah.
Isn't that the cartoon? Or is it separate from the cartoon?
They're doing a cartoon?
Yeah. That's what it is.
If it's a cartoon, it's a CG cartoon, I guess.
Yes. I don't know.
Because this thing looks like a model.
Well, send me a link. We'll look at it. I'll look at it with you. Lots to talk about today. Let me look at the agenda before Breakman gets on here. A couple of homie discounts. Of course, we got a few news stories for you guys and gals, which I should
It could just be a stock image, though, that they used. I don't know. Think of it, though.
Let's see. Let me take a quick peek. Oh, that looks like they're really doing a movie. That's cool. I'm down. Totally down for that. That looks like live action, by the way. Like how the first one was, Eric.
Puppet.
Yeah, like puppets.
I mean, why not? I mean, the Dark Crystal probably did well enough.
Yeah, no, it was fine back then. Slagar's in chat. What's up, Slagar? We haven't started yet.
No, I mean, the original Dark Crystal didn't do well at all. The new one did better, probably.
Yeah. Slagar, let me know if you can hear us. Lots to talk about today. Homie discounts. There's some homie discounts for you guys. A couple. Breakman will be joining soon. Let's see, reviews. I have a review of a movie I just watched called The Room on Shudder, so it's kind of an interesting movie I'll be talking about. Eric, I don't know. We're definitely we're not gonna do a ton of we're not gonna do a ton of COVID talk, because I mean, I think we all by now know the severity of this. I don't think it's a question now of how, I mean, it's a pandemic. It could be contagion in the United States like it is in Italy, and I don't want to scare people with the word contagion. It just means pretty much everybody's going to get it, and we just have to deal with it. It's not a mortality rate of half the population or anything like that, but what is concerning is seniors are going to suffer the most. They're the ones that we're going to have to really try to help out any way we can. I don't know. It's not going to dominate the talk today, but we will talk a little bit about it. We talked ad nauseum last week. If people want to call in and talk about it some more, you can feel free. I'm getting sick and tired of talking about the sick and tired, So we'll be moving on to different and hopefully better things. Hopefully everybody's safe out there. Just remember to wash. I mean, it's just common sense things. The only thing we can do, socially distance yourself from everybody. Don't go to big events. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Stuff like that. I do know that people are freaking out and panicking right now. I mean, if you go to the store, you'd be lucky to find toilet paper. I can't find toilet paper anywhere. I'm nowhere near going out. I just thought I'd get an extra pack just to, stem the tide. But it's interesting. It's gonna get a little bit worse before it gets better. But I think we'll pull through this. Hopefully, everybody that you know and everybody that we know will be
Oh,
okay.
if you haven't seen Parasite yet, it's gonna hit Hulu next month.
Oh, that's cool. I don't have Hulu, but that's really cool.
Well,
I have
if you
not
have
seen.
Disney Plus, oh, you would still have to pay for Hulu. But there was this deal back during December, I think, where you could get Hulu for like $3 a month for like a year.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't have Hulu, but I do want to watch Parasite. Another movie that everybody should really watch, not to panic anybody, because it's not nearly as severe as what this movie's virus is Contagion. But it's an important movie because it kind of shows you the progression of a virus and how it can affect everybody, and it's actually really good in kind of it hits all the themes and beats of what a virus could really do. So I highly recommend people watch that. It's a really good movie. Um,
Well, he asked if it was a virus-free zone, but that depends on what's going on with Brake's computer.
wait, what? Oh yeah, no, yeah. Slagar asked, "Is this a virus piece?" Yeah, it really does depend on break, huh?
That might have been last week, though. I don't know. Is that today's?
Yeah, no, that's today's chat.
Yeah,
If Slagar was in
because
there.
just my log is still from last week,
Oh
so I
yeah,
don't know
no, no,
what's
no,
what.
no. That's from today.
Mm.
So yeah, we're just waiting on break. If you're just joining us, the show's RP Grinders on Archive. If you're not here right now, what are you doing? We're live every Friday, 7 Eastern on twitch.tv/RP Grinders and on YouTube. Just search RP Grinders. Show about RPGs mostly, but we do other video game talk. Lately, we've been doing a lot of political talk. Um, you know, I like to think we're a progressive show in video game clothing. So, we do talk politics and other subjects. So, if you're interested, if you have a topic you want us to talk about, especially if it's video gaming related, let us know. I'm sure as the months go on, we're going to know the extent of how COVID-19 is going to affect video games and launches and stuff like that. We're already seeing it in the movie industry. I saw they pulled Quiet Place 2, and a bunch of other movies got pulled too. I think Warner Brothers pulled their full slate. So there's a real panic going on right now. It's not, an all hands on deck panic, but the powers that be, the people with money, the movie industry is definitely panicking, and the sporting world is panicking. So there's a lot going on that is going to affect almost every aspect of our lives. So I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about it. I just don't want it to be a full show of more coronavirus, COVID-19 talk. I know the orange idiot finally decided to declare a national emergency. Probably should have happened about a month ago. But hey, at least he did. For a second there, Eric, I thought that he would not declare a national emergency. And he's downplaying everything, and it's just been terrible leadership. Eric, Bernie Sanders gave an address which I thought was very poignant, and that is...
See, because we know that fucking Cheeto won't.
Right. So we have to rely on...
Somebody's got to be the president.
Yeah, and I listened to Joe Biden's address as well, and Biden was pathetic in his address. He basically... had everybody go to his website. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. There's some garbled language about how, for a short amount of time, they're going to try to...
Basically, he was a robot that you get when you call, like, a service hotline or whatever.
Yeah. For this, dial 2. That's basically what I got from Biden. That's a Very good descriptor, Eric. Bernie Sanders looked very presidential. He said all the right things. That's the guy we really need. I know I've been on the Bernie Sanders
He should get
bandwagon.
vicious on Wednesday.
Well,
Just tear into them
on
for
Sunday,
their
dude.
ineptitude.
Yeah, on Sunday we're gonna. I tweeted this out, Eric. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but Bernie's gonna lay the wood to Joe Biden on Sunday. He has to, and I think if he does that,
Yeah,
I
don't pretend he's your friend anymore.
he is. I mean, they're friends. They've been in Congress for decades, but the problem is
Like, I don't know, friends or colleagues.
more
Maybe
like
he's
colleagues.
just using friends as a shorthand because, well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what people will understand.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that, and I really think he is going to lay the wood to Joe Biden. And you know what? Even if Bernie doesn't win the nomination, Eric, I think everything has been exposed by Bernie's campaign this time around. So I'm really looking forward to this debate. And I'm looking forward to Bernie just dismantling Joe Biden and basically undressing him in front of everybody so that everybody knows exactly what they're getting into with Joe Biden and how he will lose to Donald Trump. Because any way you look at it, I'm on record. I'm not going to vote. If Bernie isn't the nominee, I will not vote for Joe Biden. I'll vote down ballot, Democrat probably. I'll have to look at some more of the more of the races and stuff like that. But I will not vote for Joe Biden under any circumstance. I think the guy's record speaks for itself, and you know, we'll see. Just waiting on break, man. If you're just joining us, the show's RPGrinders. Tell us where we're on Twitter at RPGrinders. Send Breakman some questions. Also, tell us if you want a topic discussed on the show, and we will definitely get to it. It should be a fun show today. I'm looking forward to it. I think if any one of us gets sick with the virus, I think we're gonna take a week or two off. Just so everybody can clear their head and get better and concentrate on that stuff. But as far as I know, none of us have it. So, I think we'll be in good shape until that happens. It's estimated that 60 to 70% of us are gonna get this virus. So in my estimation, I'm just waiting for it. You know what I mean, Eric? That's all you can do. Just keep, do like what you do with the flu. Try to sip water and, take medicine and stuff as you go. So Breakman's here, so let's see if we can get him on this Friday the 13th episode.
Apparently, there was a promo going on with Cinemark Theaters and Bloodshot and Neo, where if you were one of the first 200 people to get tickets for Bloodshot, you could win a code from Neo on the PSN.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Neo 2.
Damn, I didn't know that. Holy fuck. All right, let's add Break to the convo here. Let's see if we get a man in. Hey, Break, do we have you?
I think so.
All right, you're not hit by the virus yet?
I didn't say that.
Oh, wow. Are you sick?
Yes, very.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, sad.
Not like what's...
No, I'm kidding. I'm fine.
I'm surprised Frank
Son
doesn't
of a
have the
bitch.
coronavirus since it targets the elderly.
Oh, fuck off, you son of a bitch.
I knew we were going to do one of those shows at one point.
You son of a bitch. I'm
Show
walking
hadn't
off.
started yet.
I'm walking off the show and we haven't even fucking started, like you said, Break. What the hell?
And again, he's so old he probably developed immunity a long time ago.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Let's see, 582. Okay, I think I'm good there. Transition that. News there. Okay, we're good shape. Okay, Break, you ready to go?
Yeah, I guess.
Eric, you ready to go?
Yeah.
I actually have a special tiny bit of opening for us today, but let's start. All right, here we go. And welcome everybody to episode 582 of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, I believe we are all coronavirus free at the moment. How are you?
Happy Friday the 13th.
Other than the panic that's being set in Walmart and Sam's Club and other places. Hopefully we won't talk in depth about the coronavirus today. I know people are freaking out about it. Guys, I was at...
Can Jason be infected by the coronavirus?
I don't think zombies can. I really don't. But if so, that wouldn't.
What if he is the coronavirus?
Ooh, what if that makes Jason even stronger than what he is? That's a scary thought, man. Super Saiyan Jason. Holy shit, man, that'd be crazy. I don't know if you noticed, guys, but panic really is starting to set in with people. I mean, it's a muted panic. It's not like everybody fend for themselves panic just yet. But if you go to the stores, the stores have an air of, of panic in them. And some of the shelves are barren. Like, you can't find toilet paper, which is utterly ridiculous. Slagar's in chat. What's up, Slagar? I know you were there earlier. Welcome back. We're not...
You can still get toilet paper here.
Yeah.
No toilet paper, no water.
Gas is really cheap now, though.
Yeah, gas
Pop is disappearing. Yeah, you're right about gas being cheap. Let me see here. Peanut butter was almost empty.
Wow.
Paper towels were gone. Wipes were gone, like any kind of wipes, baby wipes, butt wipes, all kinds of wipes, just all gone. Yeah. Most of the cleaning stuff, and it was really picked through. There was only a few things of bread left, and yeah.
Yeah,
that was my experience at Walmart over that day.
See, I don't really ever have to worry about any of this because my parents like to buy a lot of canned goods in advance anyways, so it's not not really affecting much. Slagar's in chat. He says, "Panic? Ah, yes. I just came from the store. Shelves of food are bare. I'll post pics on my Twitter. Check out Slagar on Twitter @Slagar if you want to see some of those pics. You're up in Wisconsin, aren't you, Slagar?" I think he's out of Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, it's kind of setting in everywhere. I hope we don't do an entire show talking about coronavirus, but we will do a little bit of that talk. Of course, the news and everything else that goes along with our show. I've got an interesting high-scapade later.
Dungeon Busters fighting demons from hell in Doom Eternal right now. That's why he's not here.
Oh, the motherfucker's playing Doom Eternal. I mean, he plays every new.
Or maybe because we call him the motherfucker. Maybe that's why.
That's a term of endearment on this show, Breakman. How dare you? I call you a motherfucker like almost every show, so you know. I like making Breakman cry. All right, let's get started with the news. Here we go.
Apparently, left all the easy back.
RPG news. All right, Eric, you're up.
All right, from RPG site, we've got the announcement of a future announcement, I guess, because CD Projekt Red's to commence development of a new Witcher game following the launch of Cyberpunk 2077.
No, you don't say. They're doing another Witcher game, one of the most successful games of all time? Really?
Well, okay. They have to do a game for each book, even though the first Witcher game takes place in the middle of the series somewhere.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that because The Witcher 3 is one of the greatest games ever. It's a fantastic game. So,
in other words,
it will not be called The Witcher 4 though.
It's not going to be called Witcher 4? What's it going to be called?
3.5?
It could be like a spin-off, like based on one of the other characters in the series.
Here's a question. I didn't play like Witcher 2 or Witcher 1. Was there a Witcher 1? I don't even remember a Witcher 1. There has to be. Yeah. I never played it. What system was it on? Like PS?
It's a PC game. They never ported it to consoles.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I never played any of those until I played Witcher 3, but Witcher 3 is a great game. So, I mean, that game, guys, still holds up today. Like, it is that fucking good, and it's, 4 or 5 years old? It's really good, man.
We're
That's a
gonna have
game.
a smaller team work on it until Cyberpunk 2077 is done, and
Of
then once that
course.
happens, they'll
Yeah.
join the team
Yeah. No,
or
it's to be
take over.
expected. Breakman, you're right. It's a non-story. Let's get to the next
But I have
story.
no reason to believe Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out this year.
Ooh, that's a good question. And the virus is going to have an effect on everything. It's having an effect on movies and sports for sure. So I would not be surprised to see a lot of these releases delayed like a long time. So, yeah. All right, Breakman, let's move on to the next story.
Coming to us live from RPG site.
Juan. Yeah.
Soft Star has announced action RPG, what we just said. For PlayStation 4 and PC, will release this sometime in 2020. Well, that's vague as shit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The game will be available in English. About the game itself, is an ARPG presented in a third-person perspective. The plot is rooted in Chinese history and mythology. Players take on the role of Taishi Zhao. Zhao? I think it's Zhao, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A calm and reliable swordsman who is accidentally involved in a tragic fate. For protecting his beloved family, he starts a journey in this chaotic realm to uncover the truth. Wow.
It looks really good. Like I'm looking at.
I heard. I think I heard them like. I listened to the RPG Backtrack, which is like an RP gamer podcast about retro games, and they were talking about it, and they're like Final Lap, where they talk about more recent games, and they were talking about the previous entry in the series, I think, and apparently it's a really good game, and it plays sort of like Jade Empire.
Oh wow, Jade Empire is the name I haven't heard.
And it's
in a
got
long
high
time.
production values considering it looks stated still.
Yeah, it looks okay. This game. I'm looking at it right now. This is the first chance I've had to kind of. I'm looking at it with the chatters right now, and it looks good. I don't know. It sort of to me has a little tiny bit of a Sekiro vibe to it.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they're going for this installment.
Yeah. It looks a little like that. I mean, I hate to compare, games, to other games like that, but I mean, it's almost undeniable. You can't really look at this video and not think that. I don't think, but who am I? All right, Breakman, anything else on this?
Yeah, as far as a physical release, I would wait a while because I wouldn't expect it for a while because this is a Taiwanese company.
But anyways, the previous
yeah.
game series is available on Steam. You can play that in English.
Yeah,
digital copies should probably be available sometime, I'd imagine. Probably close to the original release date, but physical copies, yeah, it's gonna be...
I think the virus is definitely going to push back a lot of games, guys. I think a lot of games already announced are going to be pushed back a long time, based on what I've been reading and seeing. I mean, the movie industry is sort of tied to the video game industry, and as far as like how business is run with those companies or those industries. And this is no exception. So this is probably one of those games they had a date probably, and they're like, let's just hold back on it. I bet, and it's probably smart.
Do you think that Trump's in denial about the virus because he has it?
I don't think so. I think he's thinking politically, and
monetarily.
Of course,
that's what he thinks about the money.
Yes, of course.
It's all about money with this guy.
Yeah, of
His
course.
money, not ours.
I wouldn't mind him getting sick, though.
The president of... I don't know if this is true. I only got one source on it. But the president of Brazil apparently has the coronavirus, which he met with Trump, a week ago? So there's a 2-week incubation period on the virus. So if Bolsonaro has it for sure, if somebody can confirm that 100%, then I guarantee Trump will have had it as well. And it's not going to matter with him because he's got unlimited resources. He's the president of the United States, so of course he's going to get the best treatment and be up and at him in a day or two, and he'll probably have a constant flow of IVs and stuff like that we can't afford because most of us don't have fucking health insurance. But so the president will be okay and everybody else will be fucked, is what I'm guessing. Right, Breakman?
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay, let's move on to the next story. This comes to us from RPGsite.net. All America shit. Mega Dimension. I know I can't
No,
even
no.
fucking.
No, so I just thought
Mega
we did.
Dimension Neptunia.
I have no right. I have no
How
right to
dare you?
distract you
How
and
dare
fuck
you?
you. Okay.
Well, I mean, it is your
All right.
right as you guys are the only ones, man. I would totally walk off this show if it was anybody else. Like if it was Freak Five or Slagar and Chad, I would just walk off. Mega Dimension
Well, that
Neptune.
one time you had to mute it to cry for about 5 minutes.
Me, I've never cried in my life,
Like over
Breakman.
just a little thing that Freak said. I mean, jeez.
How dare you? How dare you? I'm walking off. Mega Dimension Neptunia 7 to launch for Nintendo Switch eShop in Japan on March 19th. So it's just a few days from now, and depending on when you're listening to this, it may already be there. A lot of love to the Twitch people out there because we have a lot of Twitch listeners. I was really surprised, but so
Well,
that's
why don't they send us Twitter questions? Damn. I'm sorry. I mean,
yeah. See,
I'm not pouting.
so I'm not the only one complaining about our listeners, then, right, Breakman? I mean, is that what I kind of get from this?
I'm. Frank made me say it.
How dare you? How dare you, man? You know what? I should just start giving people more exiles. I think that was my New Year's resolution, and I think I'm just gonna stick with it. You're exiled, Breakman. How dare you? Where's Freak when you need him? He needs to get in here so I can exile him just because. All right. Anything else on that, Break?
You were reading it.
Oh, there's nothing else on it then.
Oh, hey,
No, you're doing
I
the
got
Mega
some
Dimension
good
Neptunia
news
story.
that comes from the coronavirus.
What?
Real Time with Bill Maher has been temporarily held under production.
Oh, good. That's a
And
shitty
any
show.
chance for him to not be on TV is a good chance.
Yeah, that's a shitty show, anyways, man. Another good piece of news.
Oh, I completely forgot to leave out the Lego Mario, but I guess we could talk about it.
Okay, Eric, next story, please.
Next story. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot has sold over 2 million
That's
worldwide.
good. That's good for all you Dragon Ball. I like to say Dragon Balls just to piss people off. Every time I say that, it like triggers people. It's so funny.
Balls.
Yeah, I said balls. So yeah, that's a good. That's a good. I wish they would bring that show back again. It's such a good show. With videos though, have to have the videos. Over 2 million is a big number. That's actually sold. That's not just shipped. So, Breakman, next story. Yeah,
Yep.
next story. Break.
Dragon Balls will give you massive semen. Dragon semen. Comes to live from RPG side. Grand Guild's coming to Steam and Nintendo Switch March 26th.
Yeah, it's
Tricks.
looks like a tactical RPG. So right up Breakman's alley, I guess.
The game is a card-based RPG. It is supposed to release on March 26th. There is a date and trailer, but I just said that isn't what I just said the release date. So why are you saying it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So there's a video and Kyball Games. I don't know if they're in the States or not, so I don't know how this will affect. I don't know how the virus is going to affect this, basically.
Yeah. You know
If they're
what,
releasing
guys?
it digitally, they just have to get it on the store.
We will definitely give you guys more information as we get it on which games are going to be delayed, etc. Looks like Staro is in chat. Welcome to chat. Thanks for joining on in. Really appreciate it. It looks like a good tactical game, but you know what, Breakman, this one might not be for us because it has card element in it. So, you know, it's got tactics, but it looks like it's card based as well. So,
Well, we'll see what it is. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It looks interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said it might be right up your alley, Breakman. But I saw the card thing and I was like, oof, that might be a deal breaker for. I mean, once I heard tactical, that was it for me. But you're more of a tactics guy, and the card thing might be a distraction. I don't know. Maybe you'll have to.
What distraction are you talking about? I'm looking at your screen, and if the game's what's distracting you, you're wrong.
Oh, you know what? Like, I don't know what it is, but when I go to these websites, like I get these So most of the time it's that one cosplaying costume place, but this one is called Revolve, and it's got basically a bunch of hot chicks on the bottom right hand corner. But it's
I know, you're
weird.
distracted by the video game. I'm confused here.
Yeah, I am not. I was distracted by what's going
Mm.
on in the corner there. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no, you weren't. You're distracted by the game. I'm distracted by that.
how dare you, Breakman? All right, let's see who did that story. So it's my turn. Horizon Zero. This comes to us from RPG site. Horizon Zero Dawn's coming to PC. I think we mentioned that at some point.
And there's
but
some pretty unhealthy people out there getting butt mad that it's happened.
yeah.
Oh, my console exclusive's no longer exclusive anymore. Sony, you blood traitors.
No, it's really
there was
stupid.
like a hoax I saw on Twitter. Like a lot of people were thought that was real and tagged on it. So I don't know. Like, is it really people complaining, or has it just been like a handful of people?
No,
I think
there's
there are
and then
really
a
people
hoax.
complaining, but that video might have been making fun of those people.
yeah.
Hmm.
There is a good contingency of people that are upset that it's going to PC, but the way I look at it, does PC really compete with consoles, guys?
You
Like,
can still, like, for real. Why are you complaining? Look, if they announce in the future that Halo is going to come to PlayStation, why would I get mad about that?
there would
I
be
would
no
get mad
reason.
if they announced it and then say that there's going to be no crossplay. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, wait a minute. You're going to tell me we have access to all these other opponents and you're not going to let me do it?
Yeah, yeah.
Son of a bitches.
Well, it's sort of like,
it'd be more people available to play a game. Like, I think that's a good thing.
I agree with you 100%, Breakman. It was like back in the day when Sega decided not, to get out of the console business, and they started licensing out Sonic to other platforms. People were
That's
in
a
a
bad example, though, because those Sonic games were terrible.
They were terrible, but I remember when like the first
Engage Sonic game.
hold on. I remember when those games like came over, people were like so up in arms. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys
Don't
worried
forget
about?
the Sonic games that came out to the Tiger LCD.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, people were so upset about that. I'm like, what are you upset about? Like, the more people that play Sonic games, the better, right? I mean, it turns out those games were shitty, but you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I agree, Breakman.
I was
People
giving you shit just because they're from Sonic.
people are just stupid, man. They're just dumb at this point. All right,
More access to games is a good thing.
yeah.
I would be a little butthurt if they are saying, like, no, you can't do crossplay.
Yeah.
That's like, why?
Yeah.
Is this more of like because people were bitching and you want exclusivity, or
Well,
just being stupid? Like, this is our chance for more people to play the game and play against each other, and
yeah,
bigger community of gamers.
the only
That's what I'm
problem is Sony doesn't like to play with others when it comes to crossplay. That's the problem. That's the one big problem I have with Sony. It seems like Microsoft is the one that's willing to like do crossplay a lot more than Sony. I think Sony needs to kind of open their horizons.
Sony's really competitive. Like,
Yeah.
when I was working at Game Crazy, and they put a show on for us, and they had the big three were all there. I can't remember. I think Nintendo went first, and then Sony,
Mm-hmm.
and then Xbox. After they ended their thing, after each of them ended, they all gave us like free stuff, and Sony, like, I forget, like, just a peripheral, I think, and there was a chance to win like special PlayStation 2s.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like nothing special. And then Microsoft did theirs, and they gave us Fable, which had just released that day.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, we were out, like, so when this was. This was when original Fable came out.
yeah, yeah.
Later that day, Sony announced that, hey, oh yeah, we've got a free game for you too, and they gave us Sly Cooper 2, I believe it was.
Oh, okay, that's decent.
So,
That's decent.
well, but I'm saying, like, they saw that who they looked at as their competitor.
Yeah, yeah.
Microsoft was doing something, so they thought they had to like one up Microsoft. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the nature of the business, Breakman, but I agree they seem to be a little, kind of overly
Very competitive.
overly
Towards
competitive.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I don't think that's a big deal. Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC, and all you butthurt fucking PS4 fanatics, which, I happen to be a PS4 fanatic, but I mean, it's no big deal. It really isn't at all whatsoever. All right, Eric, what do we got next?
We got the beta for Phantasy Star Online 2 dated,
Okay.
and that's Tuesday.
Oh,
Next Tuesday,
wow, that's coming up soon. That's cool.
March 17th.
All right.
Let's see. Starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
Okay, that's cool. I guess people. I mean, I remember when Phantasy Star Online came out for the Dreamcast. That was a big game, man. That was a good one.
It says you can pre-download it on the 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah. Why is this not coming to the PS4? Do they have some kind of
It
weird...
is. It just. I guess they have a limited exclusivity.
Oh, I got you. They must have paid a shit ton of money for that one then, I guess. Okay.
Mm.
It says...
I think it's because Microsoft was really the only one that wanted to like make this happen.
I guess.
That's why it's happening
I guess.
first.
Okay. All right. All right. That's it for that. Breakman, you get the... Oh, I thought it was the last story. Never mind. Next story, Break.
You threw me for a second. You're about to say last story, and I was, wait a minute. I thought I was on the. Oh.
Yeah.
Just two more.
Yeah.
Coming to us live from RPG site. The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 3 PC demo now available.
Yeah.
I don't know why I whispered it, but it's available now.
These trailers...
Also, you can get the Switch demo for the Japanese release.
Break...
Or
Or,
the
I'm
Japanese
sorry.
eShop.
Eric, do you think that the Trails games are some of the most underrated RPGs out there?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're good.
I agree.
Good games.
I think they're
Falcom is some of the most underrated games.
I
Yeah.
should say, from what I've heard, I don't think I've ever actually played a
Oh,
Trails
they're
game.
good, man. The Trails games are good. I have some of those, I believe.
You need
for the...
to.
Yeah. Lurks is in chat. What's up, Lurks? Appreciate you joining the chat. All right. I guess I get the honor of the last story. Comes to us
It
from...
may or may not be on the Game Pass too, so you might want to check.
Yeah. This one comes to...
I'll definitely check.
This one comes to us from the website that shall not be named, solcanara.com. Monster Hunter World Iceborne hits 5 million in worldwide shipments and digital sales. I'm guessing they probably sold over probably 3.5 million sold. So that's a really good number. Monster Hunter World is a great game. I have not had a chance to play Iceborne. But Monster Hunter World, just the regular version is really, really fucking good. It's a great game. It's a fun game. You're basically just monster hunting, basically, and that's enough. That's the hook of that game, and it's great. It's really good. So
Stupid monsters.
yep. So
This is why Western developers are cretins. It's like Japan does Monster Hunters. What do we get? Cabela's Big Game Hunter.
I know, it's crazy, man. Okay, so that's the news for today.
I gotta say, when you're in an arcade with a shotgun, it is a fun game.
It is fun. I do agree, but not as fun as Monster Hunter. I can say that. All right.
Well, if I'm in
and
an
there are
arcade, I can like
guns in
swing a
Monster
sword.
Hunter.
That'd be cool.
Hey,
I
Breakman.
like swing a sword or an axe or something like that. I have to put up a shield. That'd be really cool.
Breakman, you should get a PS5, man. You really should, because you can play PS4 games too, man.
Just looking forward to that Wes Anderson Monster Hunter movie.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to Homie Discount.
I don't think so. Homie, don't play that.
All right, I got a real quick Homie Discount for you guys, and then I think Eric has one. There are a couple of free Final Fantasy VII themes for you if you downloaded the Final Fantasy VII demo on the PlayStation Network. So make sure you pick those up. I don't know.
I downloaded the demo, but how do you get the theme?
That's what I was just about ready to say. Anybody who downloads that theme before, I believe it's May 11th, will, I guess, at some point be able to download those themes. So I don't have the full
There's
details.
also a Butterfinger one.
A Butterfinger one? I'll get that too then. So you have one, Eric, for the Xbox?
Huh?
Did you have a homie discount for the Xbox?
Oh, yeah. You can buy Asura's Wrath for $4. That's just the base game. You'll still have to buy the DLC, which will make it more like $12.
That's pretty good deal. Azura's Wrath is a pretty good game. The only problem was they shortened that game quite a bit. That you couldn't get the ending until you got the DLC, which was kind of bullshit. Okay, Breakman, should I hit your music?
No.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Rather than Capcom just make an HD remaster for the PS4 and the Xbox One.
What were you saying, Break?
With all the DLC.
From Freak, that was it.
Okay.
But Capcom, what are you fucking doing with that game? Just re-release it, please.
Bernie was supposed to send you a couple of questions. I think one of her questions was... See if I can remember.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, maybe I'll just hold off till next week, and she can send them in. Okay, let's move on to
Inquiring minds want to know.
Choir Minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Mostly Final Fantasy. I haven't really had that much time to play, but Final Fantasy 15 when I have, and it's been basically log on, drive to a quest area, do a quest, run around, pick up some items, and fight some monsters to level up, and that's it. I haven't really advanced the story much.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play much of anything this week either. That virus is causing havoc, man. I couldn't find toilet paper anywhere. Luckily, my parents have a stash of it, so we're good. Okay, Eric, what have you been playing?
Been playing more Seven Scarlet. I gave myself a little bit more of a time to play with Yakuza 5 than I decided I had to take a break of it, because after playing 2 other Yakuza games back to back, and then that with even worse pacing than 3's in my opinion, because it takes so long to get to the end of Kazuma's arc, and then you go to Saijima's, and then I think the game's attention is divided because it kind of wants to like shoehorn a hunting mini game into it.
Wow.
So you're basically playing Saijima Clabella's big game hunter, and then you punch bears, and then you run around the city and play normal Yakuza gameplay. But then it throws you into Chapter 3, Part 1, which is Haruka's storyline, and she does dance battles.
That's
which
cool.
is a rhythm game.
That's cool. I kind of feel the same way, Eric. Like, I finished Kiwami, and I started playing, what was it? I finished Zero, and then I went into Kiwami, and I was like, man, this is kind of more of the same. I want to play something a little different before I go back to it. I'm definitely going to go back to it and play all those games.
I played enough of it so I could do reviews, so I just got to write those out.
Yeah.
But I need to get the reviews for 3 other Sega games first.
Yeah. Okay.
But speaking of Sega, I also played Persona 5 Royal, which the review embargo doesn't lift until Tuesday, but I can still talk about it.
Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that far into it yet, enough to really see some of the bigger changes. There are some things like they gives you a grappling hook now, and you can use that to go different areas.
Is it worth buying over the original version? Because I have the original version that I haven't even touched. Eric, should I buy Royal?
I'd say so.
Okay, all right, that's food for thought. I'll get it when it goes on sale. All right, anything else you've been playing, Eric?
That's it, really.
Okay, let's move on to
RPGrinders reviews.
Break, did you have a review this week?
I'm trying to think what I did this week that would involve me reviewing something. Not that I can think of.
And I don't see one for you either, Eric, right?
No.
Okay, I have a review, which is weird. I have a review for a movie called The Room that I watched today, actually. It's not the
Wait,
one.
The movie is called The Room I Watched Today, actually?
Oh, shut up, you son of a bitch! Walking off the show. No, it's called The Room, and it's on Shudder, and it's basically, it's kind of a cool movie. It's not the greatest movie in the world. This couple buys this house out in rural Maryland, apparently, kind of away from everybody. And they end up finding a room within this house that wasn't, they didn't notice that room before. And the husband goes in there, and he basically is sitting there kind of contemplating things, and he wishes for, man, I really, you know how like sometimes you just often like out loud you'll kind of say, man, I really wished I had $1 million or something. But he wishes that he had like you know how like sometimes you say like man, what I wouldn't do for like a Coke right now or something like that. He wishes for a bottle of alcohol. And the lights kind of flicker, and lo and behold, a thing of alcohol is there. And he's like, kind of, weird. Slagar says Harry Potter room of requirement. Yeah. So basically, he figures out that anything that he wishes for appears. So he starts wishing for money. He starts wishing for paintings. Like he gets an original Van Gogh, the Mona Lisa. All kinds of, because he's an artist. And so his wife gets involved, and she thinks he's crazy. So he tells her, wish for something. And she goes, well, I wish I had $1,000. And so he's like, okay. And he looks around the room, finds $1,000, and she's like, well, this is weird. Why should we stop at 1,000? Let's do 10,000. Let's do 100,000. And before you know it, they have a room full of money because they keep wishing for money. Well, this is kind of a strange horror movie. And with all horror movies, not everything is peachy keen. And eventually they figure out that it's kind of a facade. If anything is taken out of that house that they wish for, it turns to dust. It ages. So, things kind of take a turn for the weird when apparently they're having like baby troubles. She had a couple miscarriage. So, he realizes this after they discuss it, and he says, well, let's try to have a baby again. And she's like, no. And so, yada, 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 plot stuff. And the woman ends up going into the room and wishing for a baby, and lo and behold, a baby appears. So anyways...
that sounds like a bad idea.
It's a really bad idea, man. You have no idea how bad it gets. But I don't want to ruin everything for you.
It's just like Pet Cemetery, like burying your animals and them coming back to from life. Like, come on, like that's a bad idea. Something bad's gonna be coming.
Yeah, it's the same kind of concept here, Breakman. It's actually a fairly good movie. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest movie ever, but if you have a subscription to Shudder, I'm not gonna say it's worth getting a subscription to Shudder for this movie, but if you happen to have Shudder, it's worth a watch. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's more of a think piece than anything, and there is a little bit of action that happens at the end, and some clever ideas, I would say, and it's unusual in its approach. So I would say give it a watch, especially if you have Shudder. I would recommend getting Shudder anyways, because Shudder is a great service. If you like horror movies, definitely get it. I don't get paid by Shudder, so... but it's pretty good. So I recommend watching it. It's on Shudder. So there you go. If you really want something to get Shudder for, there's a series on there called Deadlands. It's worth every penny just for that show alone. Deadlands is awesome. But anyways, that's my review, 7 out of 10. Let's move on to Highscapade. Okay, Breakman, did you have a highscapade this week?
Mm-mm.
All right, Eric, I didn't see anything for you.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I do. I call this one Cotton Ball King, sort of like Cottonmouth King. But anyways, Bernie and I were at a fast food restaurant. I don't want to give them any publicity because, that's just not what I do. So anyways, we were there, and the guy that was taking our order... seemed kind of like out of it, I don't know. There was just something off with the guy, and he just really wasn't super friendly. And I had noticed it, but unbeknownst to me, Bernie noticed it too. I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, whatever, just order and get our food and eat, right? But as soon as we got away from the counter, Bernie was like, man, that guy had the personality of a cotton ball. And I was like, I don't think I've ever heard that saying in my life. Have you guys ever heard that? Like the personality of a It made me laugh. I laughed out loud, literally, when she said that.
No,
because
I want to know if he heard it though.
I'm hoping he did, because
I have more personality than that.
Exactly. But as soon as she said it, I really did. I laughed out loud. I thought it was funny as fuck. So that's my highscapade for the week. The Cotton Ball Kid, man. He definitely didn't have the personality of even a cotton ball. Slagar says free Viagra and syphilis immunity. Oh, okay, cool.
That sounds like something Donald Trump would promise.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
We're
yeah,
gonna.
we got that, and free I don't know, road game for everybody.
Well, we know he has an unlimited supply of Adderall in his fucking,
Mm.
desk. So there you go. All right, let's move on to.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
All right, Breakman, you are up.
Yeah, if you're dead, and yeah, I think if you're dead, it's the only way you don't know about what's going on with the coronavirus, and everything's basically shutting down, which sucks.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a heavy hit for the economy, and for us on the bottom, we're gonna be hit the most when it comes to like paying bills and stuff. And as we've talked about throughout the show, going shopping. I was at Walmart earlier, and it was like, Jesus, there's empty shelves here, there, and everywhere. Like,
Yeah,
and I was looking at other people shopping, going like to the toilet paper aisle, and I'm just like, I feel bad for these people who can't get it because of the people who went and bought as much as they could.
yeah. See, I blame two parties on this. First of all, I blame Trump because he should have responded
His
a lot
slow
sooner.
and complete inaction, and
Yes.
his up until last week calling it a hoax, and even
Yeah.
this week he was saying it's going to go away. Don't worry about it.
It's not
You
going to
know.
go away. It'll be here for at least a few months, and the response has been really, really bad. I'm jumping in, Breakman, because it's also my Stinko of the week. The lack of pandemic response has been ridiculous, and it could potentially put us
he
into
fired the pandemic team.
a long time ago. I mean, to save money.
And we've been falling behind ever since,
Yeah, yeah, and it's woefully pathetic, the United States response. But you know what? In fairness, a lot of other countries didn't respond very well either. I know England didn't,
Japan's still pretty garbage.
but here's the difference though between England, some place like England and here. I think you guys can spot it. England has the NHS, National Healthcare Service.
Wait, or at least for now, until Boris decides to get rid of it.
Yeah, I know, but they still have it. So what I'm saying is that I'm trying to make a point, Eric. Like, in this country, we have no hope, especially if you like. I personally don't have any health insurance, so if I end up getting sick, I'm gonna have to hope and just hope that I get better. And if I die, I die. I guess nobody's gonna really give a fuck. I mean, that's the way it is. But if I was in England, I could
Well,
go.
let me ask you this: is there enough room in your parents' backyard?
Probably to bury
Okay,
me.
cool.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, save you some money there.
Yeah, exactly. So
Today, they could use like a cardboard box, right?
yeah,
You think
yeah,
that'd be okay?
yeah. Well, I was just thinking the cremation route, man. Just do a funeral
No,
pyre.
they'll charge you for that.
No. I'm
If
saying
you just dig a hole in your backyard and toss you in.
no. Just build a fire in the backyard and then throw me in it. And keep adding wood until I just become
I get
ashes.
it.
Yeah. See, that's even cheaper, and better for the environment. Actually, it's not better for the environment.
I was
but,
gonna say it gotta stink too, though.
yeah.
Like
I get.
you have to make that hole 6 feet deep. If you don't, it's gonna start stinking. At some
Yeah,
point.
that's true. That is true. So, the lack of pandemic response, which will probably turn into contagion here in the country. I know I say contagion, and that's a scary word, but basically it just means everybody's going to get it pretty much, and just got to hope for the best.
And the people who are saying still saying this is a hoax and we're overreacting and stuff like that, don't seem to understand. Oh, and also saying well, what about the flu? So many people die from the flu. Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything about the cold or the flu back when they became a thing.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the technology. Now we can fight this and we can stop this from becoming another thing.
It's kind of weird that Vietnam, of all places, is leading the charge for a vaccine for this, and they're very, very close. The United States is nowhere near close to doing anything to protect its citizens against this virus. Italy, the same thing. They shut down the entirety of Italy. But the same comparison applies. But actually, Italy did it a little bit better. They just said all businesses are closed except for essentials like grocery stores and stuff like that. Plus, they have obviously like a single payer healthcare system there where you can just go and get treated if you get it. You know, I mean, it's there's still going to be people that die from it over there, but I guarantee it's going to be a lot less proportionately over there than it is here.
And I'm betting their leadership isn't lying to them at every step of the
Yeah.
way. Like Donald Trump has done nothing but lie to us and
Yeah.
shift the blame. I mean, he's blamed Obama. He's blaming Europe. It's just like, come on, man.
Like
People are gonna get sick because you didn't do anything to stop it before it happened.
you know
That
you know what the
fired
problem.
people that were there to stop it. You know.
The real problem is, Breakman. The real problem is that Trump, in his mind, thinks he knows more than anybody else about any subject at any given point in time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that to me is the most dangerous thing of all. It's not that Trump is incompetent. He's lasted this long because he's slick, he's sly. He slithers out of situation.
That's because he's never been held accountable in his entire life.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
like he's been able to get away with anything because everybody behind him says yes, sir.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, and all these people, anybody and like we said a few weeks ago, like he started purging anybody who's not loyal to him. Like they're just gone. Just get rid of them. We're moving ahead. You know, we need everybody to be completely loyal, and not just in the White House, just throughout the government. Everybody's got to be completely loyal to me. Like that's not.
Yeah.
That's not America.
See, here's the deal. I hate to sound like Joe Biden, but here's the deal, Breakman. Like Trump is not. He's not the most intelligent guy in the room, right? He's one of those guys. Like, have you ever had one of those friends that think they know everything there is to know about everything, and nobody else can get a word in edgewise, and it seems like he's the dominant one out of everybody. Everybody knows that one, right? Well, that's Trump. He thinks he knows everything about everybody at any given point in time, and his word is should be treated like God's word or mother's.
And he's got the money to say fuck everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't think he's as rich as anybody says, but
but he's still
a different
richer
story.
than me or you.
Oh yeah, no question about that. I mean, fucking a bum on the street is richer than me, Breakman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
I mean,
we know he's lied about his taxes and stuff.
oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, so
Freak Five's in chat. What's up, Freak Five? Welcome to chat. See if anybody else is in it. Commander Root just joined, so welcome on in, Commander Root. So yeah, it's a matter of ego, I think, more than anything, Breakman. Like, even if he knows he's completely wrong, the problem is he can get away with that with business. He can get away with that with other things. But with something like a pandemic, he shouldn't be able to get away with it because it literally affects people's lives. You know, you can make the argument that the business side of things and the political stuff and, even his hateful racism rhetoric isn't enough to cause enough people to die and suffer, which that's for a different day. But with this pandemic, you can't deny that it's going to affect people's lives. You know what I mean? I mean it almost caused a stock market crash. I don't know how the stock market rebounded today, but for some miraculous reason it's up 1,900 points today. And I really don't know how. Like, I really...
it reacts to whatever the president says.
Yeah.
Look, the stock market doesn't affect us as much as
No, it doesn't.
Points it out.
Yeah, it doesn't.
They make a lot bigger thing of the stock market than it is for the rest of us. Unless you have stocks.
Yeah. And
even then, you and me would have maybe like $1,000 in stocks. Like, this is for the people who have millions of dollars in stocks.
Yeah, yeah. So... it's a terrible situation. I was going to talk about the sporting events that shut down. That to me is a big stinko break, man. Like,
that's what I saw about it. Like everything shutting down. Yeah, well, that's one of the things I definitely wanted to get to.
The silver lining for the NBA shutting down is we won't get another shitty 2K release.
Well, we already got the 2020 2K release, man. So that's that.
Yeah, but no 2021.
Yeah. I have 2K19, and 2K19 was good. But 20 was not very good. So the
baseball's postponed.
Yeah.
The NCAA tournament is
canceled.
Like that's. That's sad because there are a lot of seniors and stuff like that. They'll never get another chance, and people that are. I mean, there's a lot of players that are getting to that dance floor for the first time, and they're just not going to get that experience, which is sad.
Yeah.
But human life is more important, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And I
way
mean,
more
I wouldn't
important.
be surprised if some of the anime theater,
I guess air dates are pushed back.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of movies, like Warner Brothers, announced that their movie schedule, a lot of their movies are being pushed out, which is a super smart and savvy move on their part. Quiet Place 2 was supposed to come out next week. It is not coming out next week. They are postponing that to TBD whenever they, decide to put it out. And that's a shame because that movie was looking at a good 60 million its first weekend. Let's see. We mentioned the NBA. Also, something to mention about the NBA: the player that actually tested positive for the coronavirus, Rudy Gobert. He was an idiot, and I'm glad he took the time to apologize for his actions. He had a
Oh, he
press.
apologized. I didn't know. I heard about some of his antics. So
Yeah,
I
he
apologized.
he after his press conference, he was talking about, they were actually talked to him about the coronavirus. This was before he knew he was positive for it. He touched all the microphones and the phones that were on the podium, and kind of making a joke and making light of a very serious situation. And I think he sobered up when he found out he had the coronavirus. So he did apologize, which is good, but don't be stupid, people. Even if you're just, it's not cool to joke around and like cough in somebody's face or sneeze near somebody or touch them. Especially in this environment, keep social distance. That's the best thing I can say. Let's go over a
Yeah,
few.
don't go around sniffing people.
Oh
Bite.
God, don't Biden anybody. Don't
Yes.
don't be a Biden.
The biting.
Yeah, the Bidening. I hashtag that a long time ago. Freak Pie says that's a sweeto for me. I won't have basketball fucking up the recording of the TV shows I watch. How dare you, Freak Five? No,
It's sad. The tournament's one of my favorite events of the year.
yeah, it is. March
The
Madness
first
is.
weekend, the first 4 days of basketball, just like, yes.
It's really fun. It's
Yeah.
and you know what? The Colorado Buffaloes had a good team this year, Breakman, and that never happened since Chauncey Billups left. CU, we haven't been to that tournament, so this was going to be the first time in a long time the Colorado Buffaloes were in it, and
that's what I was saying. Like, there's gonna be some people that this is their first chance and maybe only chance, and just didn't happen. So.
yeah, it really sucks. And the Buffs had a good team too. They were ranked nationally. I think they were like 17 or 16, which is pretty good, in that tournament. You never know. You could get like a 12 seed and take down a 5 seed, then all of a sudden you're a Cinderella. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm kind of sad about that as well, Breakman. The NHL shut down. I'm kind of worried that my Guns N' Roses concert coming up in July is going to be postponed or canceled, which would really suck because Bernie was really looking forward. She's never seen Guns N' Roses in concert, and that's her favorite band, and I got her tickets for it, and I'm hoping that it's an open air stadium, so there's a good chance it might go on. But I don't know. I at this point I don't know.
When is it scheduled?
July 27th or 29th, I
I
believe.
think for the summer we're probably okay because a lot of viruses do go dormant during the hotter months.
They
And
were
then
saying
they pick up when it's cooler.
this one was a different thing, though. They were saying this one actually is not going to be one of those viruses. It's going to be
Hearing that.
well into summer. So I'm hoping by the end of June, beginning of July, they don't, that everything is cool and everybody can go back to normal and, it's all good. But you just don't know with this pandemic, Breakman. Let me go over some more.
We didn't do the necessary, as a country, we didn't do the necessary things to head it off.
Right.
So now
Right.
we're trying to catch up.
Yep.
Gee, thanks, President Trump.
Thanks, Trump. I mean, is Thanks, Trump going to be the new Thanks, Obama? Do you think, Break?
I didn't know there was a thanks, Obama.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Trump.
South Park did it all the time. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, maybe I do remember that.
Yeah.
Actually, now you say it.
Yeah.
Now you register. Now you say South Park.
Yep.
You invoke the name South Park in them.
Yeah. Let's go down another. Let's see.
No, but anyway, I'm gonna stick with fuck Trump.
Yeah.
I pretty
Okay.
much added that to every tweet, no matter what the tweet is about. Like, oh, it's a nice day outside. Fuck
Fuck
Trump.
Trump. Man, it's such a lovely day today. Fuck Trump.
Yeah. Oh my god, I saw the most adorable kitten this morning. Fuck Trump.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like, have you ever seen that movie, As Good as It Gets, with Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt?
Yeah, that was
The
a good
very,
movie.
it's a good movie, man. At the very beginning, this woman is like, this older lady is like talking about how lovely the day is and how she's gonna have a great day, and she opens the door to her apartment, and all of a sudden her face goes from complete joy to like super sour, and you could hear her muttering, "Son of a bitch," and she closes the door, and then all of a sudden Jack Nicholson walks by, and she's like, it's like her neighbor. This is a great moment. But let's go over some of the other events that are shut down. I know MLB, you said, was postponed for at least 2 weeks. I wouldn't doubt that gets pushed back even more. Let's see. Okay, Quiet Place. Also, in relation to video games, you can expect more announcements for us in the weeks coming up about certain video games being delayed or pushed back. E3 has been officially canceled this year, which I think is a good move. When
I kind of think that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
If not this year, I think it was going to get canceled. I don't think there's going to be an E3 next year either.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction. I think you're right.
It was trending towards more and more companies saying, "Nah, we don't want to be in it." Unless you want to do like a E3 for independent companies and smaller companies, because the big guys just don't want to. They don't want to do it anymore. It's money.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the E3 organizers are reeling right now, and they may have to make a hard decision to just not do it anymore. I know Nintendo has their directs, which people are interested in. Sony, it was not going to be at the show this year.
Everybody's going to be like Netflix and have their own direct.
Yeah, well,
yeah, basically that's what I was thinking. It's like, no, now we're going to get that like from every company. They're just going to go online to show their stuff, which is, it makes sense. It's easier.
Yep. It makes sense from a business standpoint as well, too, because, you can just do a cheap little production, have a couple people talk about your games and be done with it. And also you get all the spotlight on you, right? When Nintendo has their directs, everybody is looking at Nintendo. When Sony does its thing, everybody's looking at Sony. When Microsoft does its thing, everybody's looking at Microsoft. And, if you're an independent, I understand. And maybe this is an opportunity for all the independents out there to get their,
video games are a different medium than any other things. You really do have to get your hands on it to play it and stuff like that. But when you're marketing to a business, the companies don't need to play it. They don't need to get their hands on it.
Yeah.
It was a cool thing that for me, like I referenced earlier that I'd gone to a show like that, a kind of mini E3.
Yeah.
And it was really cool, and I got to play all these games firsthand and stuff like that. But that didn't, what did that accomplish for me? I didn't go out and, order more copies of the game or anything.
See, that's what I always thought about these conventions anyways. Like, do they really translate to more sales if you're on the lower tiered independent scene? Like,
I went back and talked about all the games I played and was celebrating them and stuff like that, but and I could definitely talk about them more because I'd experienced them, but other than that, maybe one or two more sales because I could talk about it.
It really wasn't a factor for me. Like either, Breakman. It's a really good point because, I understand why the big ones have their day at E3 and everybody gets excited and everybody buys those games, but weren't we going to buy those games already? Like honestly, I found the independent scene more interesting, but it didn't make me like run out to go buy like a smaller game. If I found it interesting, I got it on my radar and that was it. It wasn't like a big thing for me. I don't know.
I can give you a pretty good example. The biggest games there, the first biggest game was Halo 2, and there was a Halo tournament and stuff like that. But probably the next biggest game at the show, as far as like the people playing it and loving it and stuff like that, was the Fight Club game.
Okay.
Have you ever played the Fight Club game?
Hell no, man.
No, it was a fucking turd, a piece of shit that nobody bought.
Yeah.
But that was one of the big games that everybody loved there at the show.
Yeah.
So that didn't really translate into sales, did it?
No, it didn't. It's kind of sad in a way because everybody has a con.
Frank, we don't hear you no more, man.
You don't hear me? Hello?
Now we hear you. There you are.
Okay. I was saying like cons are cooler in my opinion, like smaller cons, right? Like even when I did Wicked Radio, like I actually organized a fucking con in Vegas, and it was fun and a lot of people showed up and that's what it's all about, It's like I don't know, like these bigger like E3 things just kind of I don't know. It to me it got too big for its own good is what I'm trying to say. So
I think the digital it is kind of obsolete because of the digital era.
I agree too, man. Like anybody can get information online, lickety split, Which is another thing. Why isn't the internet like a utility, like a government run utility? I think
it's been talked about people making it different people have talked about making it
because of the coronavirus. A lot more people are watching streaming, which is interrupting my ability to watch them because everybody else is on the servers.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. Like I really think like I'm gonna get into it. I might as well. Eric, did you have a stinko this week?
No.
Okay, let's move on to Sweetos then.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweeto of the week.
All right, Sweeto of the week. Breakman, I'm gonna go with you first.
Okay, mine goes to and don't get me wrong, because I'm not supporting him, and this is not like, yay, like he's great and everything else, because I still don't agree with most of his policies and stuff like that. But the governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, is actually handling the crisis in Ohio.
Yeah,
well, he's
it's
not
supposed
Trump.
to be I know. Well, he's handling it like it's supposed to be handled.
Yeah,
and and the Ohio government stepped in before the federal government did, just like he's like a lot of other states have done it too, and he's given us daily reports, and we're listening to scientists. And he said, like, today I was listening to him. He's like, the scientists have told me this is what we're doing.
yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
I like hearing that.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna listen to the experts.
See,
you know?
it's the same here in Colorado. We have Jared Polis, and he's been pretty good with this. He was one of the first to declare a state of emergency in the state, and he wasn't the first, but he was one of the first. And then it was kind of like dominoes, like the majority of the states then declared, except for some weird reason, the southern states, which I can imagine it's because of Trump and Fox News, but they've all come.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
It's conservative radio. Like, I turned it on today just because out of curiosity. I was like, okay, they've got to stop calling it. There's no way they're still calling it a hoax. No, they're still calling it a hoax.
Well, here's another thing too. Since we're on that kick, Breakman, this virus has brought out a lot, right? And the other thing it's brought out is even more racism. Like, people are blaming China, right? Like, if a pandemic broke out in the United States, I can't see like other countries saying, "Oh, look, the United States perpetuated this virus. Fuck them." It's like that's not the way you should act. You should say, "Okay, this is a human problem. This isn't a Chinese problem. It's not a fucking Italian problem. It's not a Mexican problem. It's a fucking human race problem." And I think with stronger leadership, which I'm about to get into, I think it could be a lot better, and we more than ever we need somebody like, I don't know, Breakman, did you see Biden and Bernie's speeches about the coronavirus at all? Did you happen to catch it?
Some of it. I think I heard some of it.
Okay.
I heard like the greatest hits, I believe.
Okay, Biden spoke out about it, and I listened to the full thing, and he sounded robotic. Eric and I were talking before we got on air. And he sounded a lot more robotic. Like, go check out my website. And so I checked out his website, and it was a bunch of platitudes and a bunch of like, if this happens, we're going to release, temporary aid for this and that. And it's basically word salad, right? Like, we're basically going to do nothing, is what he was saying. When you heard Bernie talk, to me, he sounded exactly like what a president should sound like, And he was like, we need Medicare for all because of events like this. Because people's health insurance is usually tied to their employer in this country, and they can't go to work. What are they going to do? You know what I mean? Like you can't like stay home. We need paid sick leave. We need paid medical leave. We need all that. Oh, Slagar says.
I guess I do have a sweeto.
Hold on, Eric. Slagar says, "Is this going to be the pro Bernie section of the show?" Sure, Slagar. I'll talk about Bernie with anybody, man. Because, I mean, I know I talk a lot about Bernie, but I just like the way that he talks about a lot of things, right? It's sort of like when Trump supporters, like when they listen to Trump and they get hypnotized and but some of those ideas are insane. When I listen to Bernie, nothing he says is insane. It's all common sense, like this is what it should be. It just felt right, the things that he was saying, like we need to do this, we need to do this, and if I'm president, we're gonna do this, and just stuff that makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I looked at both of those speeches, and I was like, it's pretty clear that Bernie would be a better president than Joe Biden.
Obviously, Slagar does not like the Bernie segment.
No,
I think he's just tired of hearing about Frank talk about Bernie.
Yeah, probably. But you know what? I mean, it'll all be over in November, and everybody can go back to being back to status quo and enjoying their fucking centrist, incrementalist lives. Even if you get crumbs, lives. I'm not happy with that anymore, Slagar. No, neither should anybody else. We've had all these candidates like Hillary Rodham Clinton rammed down our throats for so long that it's time for a huge shakeup. And I'm thinking it's time for a fucking third party, because I'm not happy with the Republicans. I'm definitely not happy with the Democrats, especially lately.
Look at Michigan's like, you stupid motherfuckers. Why would you vote for some guy who's probably still not going to help you?
He's not. Biden is not the answer.
Flint still doesn't have clean water, and they still have to pay their water bills.
And here's the thing. It's not about Bernie Sanders, right? I happen to think Bernie's a good guy and all this. I don't vote based on a person. I vote based on policy, right? And Bernie he checks off all the box for me. Bernie's just a man. I like the ideas more than the man himself. So, and how dare you break man your exile, son of a bitch. But here's my sweeto for the week. All right. I cannot wait for Sunday's debate between Biden and Bernie, because Bernie is gonna fucking lay a 2x4 across the face of Biden, and everybody's gonna see it.
A wrestling match.
And even if Bernie does not win the nomination, Biden will be exposed in that fucking debate. So that's what I'm gonna say.
So I do have a sweeto and I do have a high scrade, because I guess I could talk about this for a high scrade, but there is a PC and an itch.io game called Super Bernie World, which is basically Super Mario World.
Okay.
But my sweeto is that I'm getting a lot more on my turn than I've ever gotten. We've got like $1,000, like 400 from state and 600 from federal.
Wow! So Trump.
Awesome! Congratulations, man.
So Trump.
Hey, can I borrow $50?
So
No
Trump
way.
actually did you good, man.
To fix my car, and then I'm
you're
gonna get
right.
myself
That's-
a goddamn TV,
Yeah.
I shouldn't ask to borrow
and then I'll
money.
pocket the rest.
Instead, I should offer you this great deal that I have. What can I sell here? No, I'm looking for something. I got this notebook that's slightly used right here.
Sla-
Sell it for 20
Slagar says, "Oh fuck, damn it! I just touched my face." Welcome to the
Well, wash your
coronavirus, Slagar. Did you wash your hands before, Slagar? I mean, that's the most important thing. As long as you wash your hands, you should be good, man.
Yeah, I got. Oh, you know what? I got a business investment for you, Eric. Let's invest in toilet paper. Give me the money, and I'll go get the paper.
Oh, speaking of that, like, here's
I'm
what
sure
I
the
don't
stock
like.
for that dropped.
Here's speaking of that. here's the problem that I have with all this hoarding of stuff, right?
I think it's time we use the 3 seashells.
It's not the three seashells. It's not the fact that people are buying stuff in big quantities, right? It's the people that are buying in big quantities and squatting on those big quantities and selling them.
Yeah.
That's what I have a problem
I saw a
with.
picture of someone, those like weird crane games
Yeah.
you could find at like gas stations.
Yeah.
It's like, there's full of toilet paper.
Oh God, man, bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I just have a problem with those people like making a buck off of everybody else's misery. It's ridiculous. If not for my parents, like I wouldn't even have fucking toilet paper right now. It would suck. But
I saw a meme where somebody showed like an old person in front of and when I say old person, I mean somebody probably in their 80s,
yeah,
who's really frail and was shopping, and it looked like she wanted to buy toilet paper, but she couldn't because it was empty.
yeah.
And I kind of saw the same thing today when I was at Walmart. Like people wanting to buy Walmart, like all generations, like not just older people, but younger people, and it's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do if you run out of toilet paper? Honestly, like you use rags and wash the rags, I
Tissue.
guess.
Buy a lot of tissues.
Tissue? Well, those are sold out too, man.
Kleenex is all sold out too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got another homie discount for you that I
Okay.
just found out.
Go ahead.
Is it paper related?
I think there's paper in it, but Dante's Inferno is like $5 on Xbox Live.
Dante's Inferno, the game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool. That's a decent one. Yeah. So you go into the store is like a process now, man. Like I'm wondering if like businesses should step in, like Walmart, and say, you're limited to like 1 pack of toilet paper a day or something, because that might stem the tide. It's like, and the other thing, this shows how really frail and delicate our economy is. You know what I'm saying? Because look, we have a pandemic, right, and a pandemic scare, and people panic. These companies are not able to keep up with even the mildest of fucking pandemics right now. You know what I mean? It's exposed businesses like Charmin and fucking Walmart.
Well, if somebody would have stopped the flow of people coming in without testing them, we wouldn't be on lockdown. We wouldn't be going into lockdown right now.
Yeah, I actually think
if there were people around, to do the job, but there weren't people around to do the job because
I think
some jackass fired them.
Yeah, I think the only way that we stem the tide right now is if we were just I don't know exactly what they call it. It's not a state of emergency, but like
at least testing and treatment will be free. They were gonna charge us until we told them no.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing that pisses me
who
off.
was that congresswoman who was like, no, like I need your answer
Katie
right
Porter.
now.
P in their
Katie
name.
Porter.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Katie
What's it?
Porter. Katie Porter.
Yeah, that was great. I loved watching that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
Katie-
thought it was
like
Nancy
no.
Pelosi.
Katie
Yeah,
Porter
no,
is an
she
excellent
told-
rep.
She had the head of the what was it? Who was that? The head of the CDC? I can't remember who she had, but she was drilling him basically, and he was trying to dodge the question, and she said, "Are you gonna make this free? This is gonna be free? No, answer the question."
Yeah.
Dodging, answer the question. Like she wouldn't let it go, and eventually he said, "Okay, yes, because of this, yes, it's free."
Yeah. And by the way, it's not going to be free. I don't have health insurance. I'm not going to be able to get tested. If I get sick, I'm not going to be able to get tested for the coronavirus. I've heard people that are sick that call their doctor's office and they want to charge them $3,000 if they test negative for the coronavirus. So that's ridiculous, man.
But okay, they're being lied to because most people don't even have the tests.
Yep.
Exactly.
So I think that the proper thing to do, it's not martial law. What do they call it when they like what Italy did? Shut down all businesses except
Quarantine?
Yeah, kind of a quarantine, just shut down your businesses. I know that's going to affect some of the businesses, but anybody that tells me that they can't do that and the economy will crash is full of fucking shit, because what was it yesterday? The Fed gave Wall Street $1.5 trillion to kind of stem the tide of them losing money. Yeah. So don't tell me. And the next time somebody says that we don't have the money for fucking Medicare for all, you can just fuck right off, because there is definitely money for things like that. If we can afford 1.5 million for Wall Street, we can afford 1.5 million to like relieve student debt or healthcare. Healthcare is first and foremost in my mind, especially now. If this doesn't,
He was talking about cutting it just last week, like Medicare and Social
yep,
Security.
yep, exactly,
Just
exactly.
cutting those. Like we're hurting. Like the deficit's huge. The deficit's huge because you're an asshole and a moron.
All right. So yeah, my sweeto is definitely looking forward to the Biden versus Bernie debate this weekend on Sunday, and everybody should watch it. Just watch it, even if you're a Republican. Just watch that debate. Tell me who you think did a better job. Honestly, I really want to know who people think did a better job. I have a sneaking suspicion who's going to do a better job. Between Dementia Joe and Bernie, but it's just we'll wait it out and see. Okay. Freak Five says I just tried a beer that tastes like Fruity Pebbles. What beer is it, Freak Five? That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind trying that out.
That does sound good. Like it really tastes like Fruity Pebbles. Like hell yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Get
that.
drunk drinking Fruity Pebbles. Let's do this.
Slagar says that's a hop that does that. Slagar's he's a big time beer connoisseur. So if you want to know anything about beer, Freak and Slagar are both pretty good at beers. So if you have any advice or if you need any advice on what to drink, I'm sure Slagar and Freak 5 would definitely give you some good suggestions for sure. Okay, I guess did I get everybody on Sweeto? Eric, you did yours. Break, did I get? I think I got yours, right? Break.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. This is gonna be probably a short show this week, guys, but let's do our free for all.
It's a free for all.
All right, guys. For this week's free for all, I thought this was a pretty interesting kind of question. What game did you rave about when you played it, but when you went back to play it later, you felt differently about it? And I think I'll start with you, Eric. I'll start with you.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of a game that.
You want me to start, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay. This might shock people. Freak 5 says that beer is called Serial Killer. That's funny. Cereal like in cereal, like Fruity Pebble cereal. The game that I keep coming back to in my mind, I mean, there's plenty of games like that, but one that I kind of like, I thought it was one of the greatest games I ever played, but then I kind of tried it again later, was Gears of War. I thought Gears of War was like fresh and innovative and cool and everything that you wanted in a video game. And then when I went back to play it years later, I'm like, this was just okay. It wasn't a bad game, but it was just like, to me it was just more meh. It was kind of fun, but not anything special. You know what I mean? I mean, I that's the closest I could come up with a game like that.
I can only think of games that I didn't like at first and then ended up liking.
Okay, well, let's do that then.
Well, I got one where I can kind of go with this one, because I just played it recently too. Is Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I remember it being really funny, and like I'm playing it, and I'm just like, oh wow, man, oh god, I thought this game was funny.
That was one of those games that were super hyped up, and people kind of liked it at the beginning. But you're right. Later on, you go back to it, and you're like, wow, this is just terrible. It's not very good.
The Xbox edition where they had added multiplayer was kind of fun, but
yeah.
Grand
Theft Auto 4 was kind of that way for me. Slagar says game that sucks second time around. I can't think of the name. The one where you're on Mars driving around smashing shit with your truck. What the hell game is that, Slagar? What system was it for, Slagar?
That sounds like a Red Faction is what he's talking about.
Maybe Red Faction.
Gorilla.
What's that?
Red Faction Gorilla.
Red Faction Guerrilla, maybe. Yeah.
I think you were wrong, sir. That game is amazing.
I'm trying to think of an RPG. Maybe Vagrant Story. Vagrant Story.
You know what? If I would, I'd probably have to say for the games that fit in this specific question, I'd probably have to say Blast Corps because Blast Corps has got a lot of design issues because it's an N64 game.
Yeah.
You can run around smashing shit.
Yeah.
But it gets bullshit.
Oh yeah, that'd be like all the PlayStation games, like every game with tank controls. Like,
like Resident Evil.
I like Resident Evil.
I know, like I like the original. Oh Jesus Christ! I love the original Resident Evil. It's why I got a PlayStation was that game. But I'm saying,
but
like,
I'd rather
going
play
back to
the
play it
GameCube
now.
remake.
Yeah, exactly. The tank controls are just.
Well,
they're
the
a
tank
nightmare.
controls are in the GameCube remake, but I'd rather play that over the original.
Oh God, the
version.
GameCube version of that game was fantastic, man. I love that game. That game was good, and it's still good. It holds up, man. Really does. Another one, and this might be semi-controversial, but Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is a good game, but man, going back to it now.
For me, it's mostly due to the shitty QTEs that they were implemented horribly.
Yeah, those aren't very good.
First of all, they shouldn't even be in there. Second of all, if you're going to throw them in there, make sure you give us fair warning that you're going to make us do button hitting segments.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with all like early PlayStation games, like the Twisted Metal games. Like I love those games, but going back to playing them now is like, oh man, that's painful. Am I driving a car or a box? What is that? Is that a wall?
Oh, okay. Here's a question for you. What movie did you rave about, and then you go back to watch it, and you're like, wow, that's not very good? Guys have any?
Like I mentioned it a while ago, but I would say Raiders. No, not Raiders. Temple of Doom. It's like, I remember enjoying it as a kid. Now it's like just terrible.
Yeah, it's not very good. In the opposite direction, like a movie that you kind of liked, but you were kind of indifferent about, but then you go back to it later, and it's even better. You know what movie does that to me every time I watch it? The Shining. I think The Shining is one of the greatest horror movies ever made.
I've read things about what Kubrick did to Shelley Duvall, and it's kind of ruined it a bit for me now.
No, that movie is one of the greatest movies ever, man. The Shining gets better every time I fucking see it. Like, I understand what you're saying, Eric. No person should be treated like Shelley Duvall was treated on that movie, but her performance in that movie was outstanding, and Kubrick got every bit of that performance out of her. It's a great movie. Every time I don't
know. I can't say something like that knowing what he did.
So. Yeah, he was pretty awful on the set, no question. But that doesn't take away from his. It's sort of like how I feel about sports, Eric.
It's probably you shouldn't even give him credit. You should give her credit for being able to do that despite that.
No, I give them both credit.
Suffered later for it.
I give them both credit, Eric. It doesn't say that I think Kubrick isn't a terrible person, because I happen to think that he wasn't a very good person at all. But it's the same thing like in sports. A good analogy is like, I can't stand O.J. Simpson, but it doesn't take away from his football legacy. He was a great fucking football player. Same thing with Lawrence Taylor.
All I'm saying is, I wonder how much her performance was due to her mental state being compromised, rather than her being able to just push through it and then having PTSD related symptoms later.
No, Eric, those are valid points. I'm not arguing that at all. I'm just saying her performance was awesome based on both his direction and her acting. Like, it was a combination of both, man. And it was almost the same for everybody on that set. Like, Kubrick, when he directed movies, he wanted everything absolutely perfect. Every shot, everything in the background, every decision was Kubrick. And he was very demanding, no question about it. I'm not going to argue that in the least, Eric. But
I think somebody should have been there and says, like, perfect doesn't exist, so you have to compromise at some point.
Yeah, but
a movie I really wanted to like was Evolution.
But of course, the movie was made in the late 70s, so of course there was no quality control.
early '80s. But what were you saying? Breakman Evolution. Who was in that?
Yeah, that was remember that is made by the same people that made Ghostbusters,
Harold
and I thought
Ramis directed that, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
Harold
yeah, yeah,
Ramis
yeah.
in it. Dan Aykroyd made a guest appearance, and like it was a cool concept, and I really wanted to like it. And the first time I went to see it, I was like, yeah, yeah, and and then I watched it later,
I'm
like,
glad I just
no,
rented it.
no,
Oh
no.
no, yeah. Um, let's see. I remember really liking Friday the 13th Part 3 a lot. And I went back to watch it. It's not very good. I mean, it still has good kills, so I'm a huge horror fan, so I still like
Is
it.
that the
And
one where it's the fake Jason, or
no, that's
that's
part
the one I
5.
don't like. I don't like the fake Jason one.
I like the fake Jason one actually. That it had some good kills, and also it continued the Tommy Jarvis storyline, so I kind of liked it, but I didn't like the fact that it wasn't Jason. But yeah, part 3 was the 3D one. It's a pretty terrible movie, but I still like it because of some of the kills, and some of the 3D stuff is still pretty fun. But I don't know, man. Had one of the most annoying characters out ever in Shelley. Shelley was one of the most annoying Friday the 13th characters. Speaking
Yeah,
speaking
it
of
was
Friday
good.
the 13th, we should end on this. We'll end about
He's a prick in the video game too.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Speaking of Friday the 13th, what is your favorite Friday the 13th movie, Breakman?
Oh, I don't. I I like Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It was just a fun movie. It
Yeah, I mean, it realized like, hey, this is over the top, and this
Yeah.
is what it is. So let's just lean into it, and we'll have some fun.
Plus, it was one of the few movies. Back in the day, Breakman, when the Universal monsters used to cross over all the time into each other's movies and stuff. It was one of the few modern movies where two huge movie monsters got together. Like you don't see like Michael Myers versus Jason or Leatherface versus Jason or anything like that. I mean, I would love to watch movies like that had that old, Universal monster feel where you would just throw, the Wolfman into Dracula or Dracula into...
or for instance, like Rodan used to be its own thing before it crossed over to Godzilla.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I want to see more of that. I wish they would
Now
do...
now people don't distinguish
So
Rodan by itself. It's
The Wolf Man.
Oh,
Not-
how
not
dare
the
you.
Wolf Man.
Eric, you're exiled. You son of a bitch. God damn it, man. You do that on purpose, man. Look, I'm even gonna put in chat that you're exiled. You son of a bitch.
I can think of another one that when I was a kid, and I wanted to like it because it's like, yes, they made a sequel to Highlander.
Oh, I know Highlander 2.
You know what? I'm
man.
gonna
What a
say
disappointment.
E.T.'s a bad movie.
Yeah, I totally agree, Eric. I
I've
couldn't
never
agree more.
sat through all the way through it, so
Well,
so
don't
was
bother.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That was terrible.
Yeah, I did not like Close Encounters of the Third Time at all, man. But I did like E.T., but going back to it, it's hard to go back to that.
At least
movie,
E.T.'s better than that knockoff Mac and Me.
Yeah, I agree. Mac and Me, Bernie loves that movie, and I'm like, that's one of the worst fucking knockoff ET movies ever, man. I'm like, what's wrong?
Did you
with
watch it stoned or something?
No. Yeah, Bernie doesn't get stoned nearly as much as
pop
I do,
fuels
guys.
a lot of sales.
Yeah, no, Bernie doesn't get stoned nearly as much as I do. I'm, almost any given day I'm stoned, but not Fridays for obvious reasons. I'm on this show, but any other day, that's me. But Bernie, no, she's pretty straight arrow, man. Like every great once in a while, she'll eat an edible or something like that. But she's actually pretty straight and narrow. All right, I think that's what all we got for this week. It's gonna be a short show this week, guys and gals. That's just the way it is. I want to say just a real quick PSA for RP Grinders. If any one of us gets sick, I think it's only proper to take a week off. So, we'll be back next week pending any one of us getting sick. I know I'm not going to want to do the show if I get sick. I know these guys aren't going to want to do the show if they get sick. So, it's more important to get better because this thing is pretty serious. and I want everybody to be healthy and get back, and we can entertain and, do all kinds of fun stuff. I don't want to be, I don't want anybody worrying about, Eric or Break or myself or anything like that. I want us to heal up and get better and stuff like that. We'll do it as long as we can, but, it's inevitable.
Game.
Oh, what game, man? Go for it.
Thinking back to older games like the GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, like those were fantastic games on the N64. But now you go back and try and play a first-person shooter with one stick, and it's like, my god,
it's molasses the shooter.
I know, like you're moving slow and you can't aim, and it's just like, oh my god, I can't do this. Holy shit!
Slagar makes a good point. He says, if I get sick, I want to listen to you guys. Don't let me down. I tell you what, if only one of us is sick, the other two guys will do the show.
Yeah, because we should keep going because everything else is getting canceled.
Yeah, I know, man. You're right. Slagar's right.
I did tweet that maybe it's the physical manifestation of cancel culture.
Okay.
If we go into full lockdown, we should do this. We should do the show more times during the week.
I'm down for that. If you guys are down for that, I'm down for that as well. We can have extra RPGrinders
shorter
sessions.
but more frequent shows.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, if we're all on quarantine. So
yeah. No, I'm okay with that. Here, okay. I'm gonna redo that statement, guys. Okay, if one of us gets sick, the show goes on, regardless of who gets sick. If two guys get sick, well, obviously, I mean, it's not gonna work. But I will say, if I'm the one that
I'll still do it.
Oh, you still? How dare you? How dare you?
Me.
If I'm if I'm the one that doesn't get sick and the other two guys are sick, if Eric and Break get sick, I will do a show, but it will be a little different format, and I will bust into a grinder dance party. So. I will do a show. It might be shorter, but I will stop that show and then do, just for Twitch listeners and viewers or whatever, I'll do a GDP. So, and the other deal is if things go on lockdown, which I think we might pretty soon, maybe we'll do some more shows, maybe a couple more shows during the week, a little bit shorter, but but we'll put them out, and we'll let you guys know on Twitter. Our Twitter's at our RPGrinders. I'll tweet out something, and obviously Break will get it and tweet out, and we might do something. I'll be in contact with these guys. Just just an FYI PSA for everybody listening out there. We'll still do the show. If all three of us get sick, then obviously we can't do it. So. That's the deal. Slagar says, more shows, Power Rangers movie night. You see, Slagar wants to get us banned. That's what it is. He's influenced by MXT, and he wants us to get banned.
Really had it with your Bernie talk.
He really has, man. Less Bernie talk for Slagar might help the cause, but don't worry, Slagar. It's almost over. If Bernie doesn't win the nomination, you won't hear me talk much about politics for at least a little while, man. But I'm not voting for Biden, just so everybody knows. But anyways,
well, you're not gonna hear me stop bitching about Trump anytime soon. Like, he's always finding new things to bitch about, to make everybody mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, everybody that's not one of his base supporters.
Yeah.
Which
like,
is weird.
I can't believe I turned on conservative radio and it was still like, I can't believe like all this hoax. The media's. They're killing our economy, like they're doing this to Trump. I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, doing this to Trump.
This is still a conspiracy against Trump. Like, this is
Okay. All right, guys. I think that's about it for this week. Let's go with your plugs, Breakman.
You can follow me at break_man. You can follow my harmonica.
How dare you? Exiled, you son of a bitch.
And you can follow me at RPGrinders on Twitter.
Harmonica19.
Oh, God.
Or you can ask me any questions. Hashtag Dear Breakman. Say something, anything. It doesn't have to be about sex, but, those are fun.
Well, I know Bernie has a couple questions for you next week.
I mean, how am I going to save your sex life if you don't ask me? Because I know you're struggling. I'm just trying to help.
Oh, dear Lord, man. All right. Is that it, Break?
Mm-hmm.
My wish is for less harmonica this year, but whatever.
Well, how about cowbell?
Yeah, that'll work. I can definitely do cowbell. Sweet. Okay, Eric, your plugs, please.
Freaking You.
What?
There's a song called Freaking You.
Oh, freaking you. Okay.
Freaking me.
What else, man? What?
I'll plug the reviews I do on sites like BostonBasherBrigade.com, TotallyGN.com, VogNetwork.com. And if you like what I've written, you want to support me, sending me as little as $1 would help me out. And that's through my Patreon. And you can go through there through my Twitter account profile at ArcRPG.
At Eric RPG. Okay. Anything else, Eric?
Wash your hands.
Yeah. Make sure and wash your hands, and don't touch your face. Don't touch your face like Slagar did listening to the show. I don't know why you did that, man. Hopefully you washed your hands, Slagar. Especially going out to the tavern, man. You gotta wash your hands, man. What's wrong with you? Okay, you can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. Ask me anything, I'll answer. And if I can't answer, I'll just kick it on over to Breakman, and he'll answer it for you. And we'll do it on the show. Let's see what else. Watch Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 13th today. Those movies are just stupid fun. There's no intrinsic value other than to entertain, so they're fun. Even something like Jason X is really fun to watch. Freak Five says wash your genitals. So there you go. Yeah, make sure and do that.
Advice.
Wash your everything.
Yeah, that's good advice. Wash your genitals,
Wash your
everybody.
ass.
Yep,
Everyone.
wash your ass too. There you go. You can follow me on
Wash
any.
your ass and never shoot the food.
Yeah, exactly. You can follow me on any of the systems, whether it be Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation. My gamer tag on all of them is RPGrinders, so that's where you can get a hold of me on any of those. What else? Get Shudder. I'll give Shudder a plug, man. Shudder's an awesome horror movie service. I think it's like $4 a month. So if you like horror,
also got a PS. I got to plug La Milano 1 and 2 coming out next week.
oh yeah, there you go. On Switch, right?
No, everything.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Everything that isn't already on, like Steam
Okay.
and GOG.
Cool. Make sure and wash your hands, everybody. Don't touch your face. Stay, keep your distance from other people. If you don't have to go somewhere, don't stay home. Listen to RP Grinders and every other podcast out there. What else? Yeah. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Till then, we're out, everybody. How dare you? How dare you, Breakman? Resident hillbilly Breakman over here. Son of a bitch. Who plays the harmonica other than hillbillies? Fucking Breakman. Jesus Christ. All right, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. Really, really, really appreciate it. We may or may not be doing. How dare you, son of a bitch? We may or may not be doing Noob Ninjas is in there. I thought it said boob for a minute. Noob Ninjas is in chat. Thanks for joining, Noob Ninjas.
Boob ninjas.
Yeah, I wish there were boob ninjas. That'd be sweet. We may or may not be doing shows this week. It just depends on everything. But I mean, everybody's in good health right now, so it looks good for next week. We'll just give you a week by week analysis of the situation, and if everybody gets quarantined and nobody's going to work or anything like that, we'll do extra shows. I don't mind doing that. We could talk about all kinds of different stuff, even more video game stuff for sure. There's always news during the week. So thanks everybody in chat for sticking around. We really appreciate it. All that good fun stuff. Have a good weekend, guys. We really appreciate you stopping on in. Thanks a lot. If you're listening on the archives real quick, every Friday, 7 Eastern, twitch.tv/rpgrinders. And also YouTube. It's youtube.com. I don't know what the exact, it's not RPGrinders, but just search RPGrinders. You'll find us. So there you go. Thanks everybody. Later.
I just referred